Hello and welcome back everyone, this is the Spiritual Seeker, back with another pick a card reading. Today's topic is going to be, who will I marry? You know, who are you going to marry? I will just put it out like this, that this is a general collective reading, so, you know, I am picking up on the collective energies of everyone, and I will just say that the future is malleable. People are malleable and can change, so if you decide, you know, I'm going to go on a different path, I want to choose a different person or take a different decision down the road, then this might no longer apply, this reading, because it might be that you've somehow managed to escape this decision, or you've chose a different path and so the person that you will marry might be different. However, if you do continue on your current path, then this is who you will marry and who you will settle down with. So I'll give you a few moments to decide if you want to pick from 1, 2 or 3. Just close your eyes and meditate for a few moments. Right, so there we go, we'll get right into the reading. Remember to like and subscribe, comment what else you'd like to see. Everything for paid private readings is in the description box. So if you chose, you know, deck 1, who are you going to marry? We've got Wisdom reversed, the 5 of Earth, Ace of Fire, Youth, the 6 of Air reversed, we've got Body Mind reversed, and we've got 8 of Water reversed. So I'll put these cards up here. I also pulled some more cards, Obstacles and Challenges, Recognition and Reward, Foundation and Achievements, Material Harvest, Emotional Loss, Suffering in Silence, Emotional Withdrawal. We've got Crown Chakra reversed, and Solitude. So I pulled quite a few cards for this one, sorry about the lighting. So who will you marry? Okay, so this person is, you know, has always been alone. This person has been in solitude for a while. As you can see from most of the cards, you know, he's by himself, he's by himself, he's by himself, this person's by themselves, this person's in solitude, this one's by themselves, this one, this one, this one, this one. They're all by themselves, so it's someone who spent their life by themselves in solitude, someone who does suffer in silence. Alright, like with this card up here, someone who likes to sit in solitude a lot. So everything that they have, everything that they've done has been by themselves. Even their own recognition and reward, even though it's been a struggle with the number 3 up here, they did it all by themselves. Alright, they've been through obstacles and challenges to get material harvest. This is, you know, the red cards are about the root chakra, it's everything about in the physical world. So everything that they've done career-wise, material-wise, to get money and to get a career has been by themselves. Alright, we've even got 9 up here when it comes to material harvest. You know, 9 is a card of, or number of solitude, so they've done everything by themselves. You know, they've had a lot of emotional loss, which has been a struggle for them. We've got the number 5 coming through, indicating struggle. Alright, they've had emotional loss, they've had emotional pain, they've been through emotional withdrawal. Alright, particularly it might be in family issues, things at home, because 8 is the family number, the family unit, the infinity symbol. So they've experienced pain and loss in the heart, and they've tried to use that in solitude to grow a career out of it, to get material harvest. Alright, but they do lack the wisdom when it comes to possibly career. Because they have had to do it by themselves, and they might not have been sure what they were doing. They were trying to illuminate themselves in the dark. They might have trouble when it comes to wisdom or how to do things, because we've got here the 5 of Earth, someone who likes to play the cards right, someone who, you know, deals the cards, they know what they're doing, someone who takes risks and gamble. So possibly could be an addiction for some people, but you know, it's someone who doesn't always consider the feelings of others. Alright, they might put blame on other people, they might have selfish desires because they've always been by themselves. So they always know how to play the cards right when it comes to people. They don't really care whose toes they're stepping on in the material world, but they always do take action on it, because the Ace of Fire is someone who takes action and initiative, someone who's actively pursuing goals, someone who likes to like take old things and make them better. So it is someone who actively pursues their material world, who's very much in the root chakra. Alright, if you're expecting this person to be a spiritual person, or you're possibly a spiritual person and you want to attract someone who is also spiritual, you know, this person isn't going to be spiritual at all. Okay, we've got the crown chakra in reverse. They are not in touch with the divine. They are very much focused on the root chakra, material gain, material wealth, physical, you know, 3D earth stuff. They aren't going to be spiritual or in touch with that. And that's why they don't have spiritual knowledge. And if you are a spiritual person, then perhaps that you will give them spiritual knowledge and wisdom, and you'll enlighten them up to that, because they are very grounded, very practical. I'm seeing earth sign, so it could possibly be an earth sign, or someone who is just very practical, rational, down to earth. They've had the heart hurt, but they're working very hard in the material world. And because of this, they might have a bit of ego about them, a bit of arrogance, because normally upright, the Eight of Water is someone who's very aligned in a positive way, who's someone who's got pride but is not boastful. But in reverse, you know, they might have a lot of ego or pride about them, and this might make them not balanced between the body and mind, because we've also got this card in reversed. They might not be very balanced between the body and the mind. They might just be very earthly, 3D, physical, that's it. They might not believe in the spiritual realm or an afterlife, because they've been through so much emotional heartache and they've worked so hard to get where they are. They've been through so many obstacles and challenges, and they've always been by themselves or left by themselves. And so they might be very proud of where they've got today. You know, this card, the Six of Air, it's all about someone who might not be willing to compromise when it comes in reverse. You know, they're not willing to compromise their ideals and their beliefs, because, you know, they've worked so hard to get where they are today. They're not about to let that go and make it stand for nothing. And it might be that if you two were to get married, that you'd bring a nice balance to the body and mind, and you would open them up a little bit spiritually and provide them with spiritual and esoterical knowledge and wisdom, and you'd be that guiding light for them. But if you're not married currently, which is why you'd be on this video, then they don't have that yet. They don't have that level of spiritual understanding or wisdom. But, you know, I do see that this could be a successful marriage, because we've got the foundation and achievement cards. 4 is all about foundation, a family coming together. Look, even though this person might have always been by themselves, you know, they will find that balance of two worlds. They might find it very difficult at first to let you into their world, but I promise you, if you do, you'll find a very hard-working, earth-like sign who's got a good foundation and achievements, because they have been through so much. We have got the rainbow at the top of the card, so someone who does become more aligned spiritually. We see that, you know, here this person isn't aligned, but if you were to get married, you know, it would be very stable. You would bring them back into alignment. It's just that they have been through a lot of heartache and everything, being by themselves, overcoming obstacles and challenges. Someone who doesn't really like to talk about their emotions because they're suffering in silence. Hello. Someone who does emotionally withdraw and prefers solitude, and they might find it really hard, you know, fitting you into their world. But if you did get married, you would have hello. You would have that strong foundation and a sense of achievement of the family unit, and they would be able to do that for you. But just keep in mind that they have had struggles with emotions. It might not be something that they like talking about. They might have always played the cards right, and they've never had to compromise before. They've never had to compromise their beliefs. They've never had to compromise in arguments, because they've always been by themselves. And if you were to marry them, that might be a bit of an issue at the beginning, just because they're not used to it, right? It's not because they're arrogant. Perhaps they just lack the wisdom and the knowledge. They've always been able, you know, to be by themselves. And you might find that they are a bit youthful, so they are a bit rebellious. Come on, get out. They are a bit they are rebellious, okay? They are going to be a bit of a lone wolf. They are going to be someone who enjoys their freedom and independence, because they've been in that, like, energy for so long. they're going to be someone who likes to live in the moment. They're going to be very individualistic, very adventurous, and you might have to tame that side of them because, again, they aren't going to be spiritual or have that knowledge and understanding. Come on, get out. Sorry about that, guys. They aren't going to be... Come on. They aren't going to be spiritual at all, and it might just be about that they need to calm their ego down a little bit, just because even though they have worked so hard to get where they want to be, sometimes they can hurt others' feelings by playing the cards without thinking about others' feelings or thoughts. They're always in fire energy, where they're always in action and they need this. They have a lot of passions and desires, but again, with the youth, they might be a little bit naive, or they might just be a bit not used to being around people. Like I said, they've always been by themselves, so take that into consideration, that they've never shared their thoughts or feelings before. They've always been someone who's travelled by themselves, someone who's just always been rebellious and adventurous and free, and so it might be a bit of a struggle for them. But if you provide them with the wisdom and the knowledge, they won't be they'll be more aligned. All right, we'll be more aligned chakras. We'll have an aligned body and mind. So, yeah, that's who you will marry. Hi, sorry about that, guys. My cat's still trying to come through the door, so I just had to restart that video. But yeah, if you chose pile 1, that was your answer for who you will marry. And if you chose pile 2, we will get right into that reading now. It's always when I'm filming, my cats always want to come in. So we've got thought, the 8 of earth, 6 of fire, union, masculine, feminine. We got the 3 of swords. So I'm already seeing twin flame energy, so this could possibly be a twin flame. We've got patience and planning, deception and envy, conflict and defeat, movement, choices and decisions, prosperity begins. We have sacrifice and power in reverse. So who will you marry? Let's have a look. So as I've said, I am picking up this is a twin flame connection because we've got the masculine feminine card and we've got the union card coming in together here. So it could possibly be a twin flame. That might not be for everyone. However, it could be for most people picking this reading. Right, they are going to be willing to sacrifice for you because we've got the 3, 1 + 2 = 3 in numerology. 3 is about struggle. So they will be willing to sacrifice for you during struggle. Alright. With the 8 of earth, because I'm picking up on quite a few signs here, we've got air energy, we've got earth energy, we've got fire energy, there could be any of those. Got a bit of everything really, but the 8 of earth is someone who's abundant and wealthy. Now that doesn't have to mean in the material world, but it could just mean that they are abundant mentally, they are abundant emotionally, they are in touch with nature. It's someone who's very healing as well, or can heal others. It's someone who's willing to grow. It's someone who's stable. So this relationship has a lot of potential to grow and it has a lot of stability in it. The 8 is also the family number as well, so very stable in the family unit. We've also got someone who makes plans for the future and appreciates what they have, so they will appreciate you. They are willing to make plans for the future. They are willing to make it a stable connection. We have the, I think it's the 6 of fire. Yeah, I think it's the 6 of fire. So possibly a little bit fiery when it comes to the material world, because we have got a lot of material cards up here with the red and root chakra. So someone who really does put actions or thoughts into actions, because we've got the thought card down here. We've got someone who puts thoughts into actions, especially in the material world. The 6 of fire is someone who respects boundaries and is willing to negotiate. So perhaps they're a negotiator, a businessman or woman, someone who's really good at healing conflict as well. Someone who's good at communication and will compromise in a situation. Yeah, a good leader. Definitely in the material world. It is someone who will probably make business deals, good at compromising, respects other people's boundaries, especially if things have been said that might be a little bit out of line. because we have got the thought card here, so it is someone who thinks a lot. Again, another twin flame reference with the masks on the card. So someone who's up in the head a lot, possibly an air sign, because we've got 2 air sign cards. However, it might just mean that they're a good communicator, especially when it comes to the material world. We've got someone who thinks a lot, you know, very rational, very intellectual, very smart, because we've got the 3 of air here as well, which is the 3 of swords. You know, this gent here, he's got his head in a book, wanting to learn things, full of knowledge. We've got someone who's very well educated. Yeah, someone who's very well educated, possibly a teacher, communicates ideas. Yeah, possibly a student themselves. Someone who's very realistic with them thoughts, very down to earth. Especially when it comes to these energies, they're not just going to be all up in the head about situations. They are going to put those thoughts into action, and they are going to be make sure that they've got all the knowledge before they jump into decisions. So they'll make sure that they've got all the knowledge before going into a decision. They probably have many different business paths, but they are very imbalanced with this. They have got choices and decisions to make, possibly in the material world. And they are quite balanced when it comes to this, because in the past they have had conflict and defeat, possibly with their career. They might have had a loss of power somewhere, which is why this is in reverse, or not enough inner power, and this is why they have choices and decisions available to them, and this time they want to make sure those choices and decisions lead to prosperity, because we've got number 1 with leadership. So they're making sure that they're in the right financial position. They are making sure that they are stable. They are making sure that they have prosperity and abundance. And you see how there's 2 hands here, not just 1. So in the relationship, they are willing to plant the tree and watch it grow with you. With you, as they're masculine or feminine. Alright, they'll probably will talk to you about their ideas as well. They probably will communicate their thoughts with you. They might offer you a lot of knowledge. They might know everything about anything. They might always have the head in a book. They might always be wanting to learn new things, know new things, or that they are self-educated in their career, or they have had a lot of teachings regarding their career. But the problem is they might become a little bit impatient with that, because we've got the patience and planning card in reverse. So if they want something, they want it now. They might not be very patient when it comes to growing their tree. However, with regards to the relationship, they will be patient, because they've got you there as well, helping that grow, helping them make the right choices and decisions, thinking through their thoughts with them, you know, speaking about them in this union. You'll be down to earth about it, or they'll be very down to earth and communicate those feelings to you. And you might even provide them the knowledge to move forward with regarding a decision. But, you know, it might be a conflict of spirituality that they've had, because we've got 7 reversed here and 7 upright. So it might be that they have a problem with balancing the material with the spiritual, and they focus a lot on the material and you focus a lot on the spiritual aspects. But it is a nice balance, because, you know, they are full of thought and you are full of feeling. When you first meet them, they might have a little bit of a mask on. They might get jealous of others, and that's why they always need to plan, because they always need to be the number 1. They always need to be at the top. They always need to be putting their plans and thoughts into action. And so they might, you know, make little white lies to others about who they are and what they do, but it's because that they want this prosperity. They want this balance. They want choices and options open to them in the material world, and they might not always take the time to plan. They might just think things, not think them through though, and then just go straight for it, like with the fire card, and that might be a little bit of a downfall to them. And they might get jealous of others because they want to be at the top, and they might wear a little bit of a mask. But I don't see it as like a massive issue as in like cheating or like lying in the relationship. I feel like their deception and envy comes from wanting more and needing more and having a passion for their career, and that's why that comes in. And they might have lacked the personal power before, and now they have the power to put things into action. And because they want to put things into action, they don't think before they act sometimes. But, you know, they are going to be well educated, they are going to be intelligent, they are going to be a communicator, they're going to be witty, wise. Alright, your relationship is going to be about balance, balancing the masculine and feminine, balancing thoughts with emotions, balancing the traditional versus the untraditional, and you will overcome these conflicts and defeats, because they might just be their personal conflict and defeats. But yeah, that's who you will marry if you chose pile 2. So if you chose pile 3, who will you marry? So we've got the Maiden, we've got Integrity in reversed, Queen of Air or Queen of Swords, the Scribe, the Child, Destiny. What else have we got? We've got Balance, we've got Heartache and Loss in reverse, Universe, Triumphant Success, Love Begins, Intuition, Partnerships and Alliances, and Choose Wisely. So who will you marry? Okay, so first off, the relationship is destined. It is destined to happen. It will happen at the right time, at the right place, with the right person. Alright, this person, you might find that they're a bit childlike or a little bit foolish. They might just do things carelessly, because we've also got the Maiden. The Maiden is someone who really lives her truth, who speaks her truth, who kind of just does whatever she wants. She's just going on a path by herself. She's free. Alright, so there might be a little bit of a wild child. The signs, I'm getting air signs. I don't have any other signs. Maybe a little bit of an airhead. We've got someone who probably is a bit cut in with words, a little bit sharp with words. We've got someone who's very wise. We've got the owl on it. Very intellectually smart. Alright, they're going to be very witty, very sarcastic. They're going to just be someone who says it how it is, and they don't care what others think. That's it. That's how it is. I'm going to say it how it is, and they're going to be very wise and knowledgeable, because the Scribe is someone who's quite traditional, knowledgeable. They have a reverence for books, so they might always have their head in a book, or they might just know everything about everything. Like they always, just know everything. A thinker, a daydreamer, someone who really likes to make theories, or just has a lot of thoughts. They're just obsessed with knowledge, obsessed with learning. The Scribe understands that education doesn't just stop at school. Education is a lifelong lesson through the lessons that we have and the experiences that we have. I mean, you can see there's just energy overflowing. He's actually got a sword going through his mouth. It's just someone who will talk about these things. It's someone who can express themselves and their thoughts quite well. It's going to be someone who is going to be quite passionate about the thoughts and how they think about things and how they view the world. But, they might live in a way which is a bit free and childlike. So, and sometimes they might say things that might harm other people's integrity. So you might find that they're very hard to figure out. They might say one thing, do another. They might be a little bit contradictory. They might have a contradicting personality. They might have contradiction thoughts and feelings. And, it might come across as a bit hypocritical at times, because they are so harsh with their words. And sometimes to other people, that might damage their integrity or morals. And you might have to turn around and be like, all right, stop acting like a child. You didn't need to say that like that. But it might just be that they're too honest for their own good. It's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just that they are going to be quite upfront and honest and quite blunt with that sword energy in there. But they will give you the complete truth and honesty. They will always be honest. They will always give you the truth. They'll always give you facts how it is. They are just going to be like that. They're going to be quite sarcastic and witty. They are going to be someone who is quite respected, but they might struggle with censorship. Like I said, because they just speak the truth, they might not censor what they say to you or other people, and that might damage people's integrity or sense of self. But that is just because they are so carefree. They do what they want, they say what they want, they're just happy being themselves. And so it can come across a bit naive, like a child sometimes, like, oh, you shouldn't have said that, like that was too honest. But yeah, that's not necessarily a bad thing. They are just going to be like that as a person. I have got a twin flame card here with the number 11, so it could be a twin flame relationship. However, that might not apply to everyone. They are going to be quite well balanced. They are going to be good at juggling two different worlds. The relationship will have triumphant success. Again, we've got sword energy here. They will be very successful at communicating their emotions, possibly a leader with the number 1. We've got the universe card again, so it is destined. So we've got destined and universe together, something that's meant to come together. Even though they are quite logical and practical, they are going to have a lot of intuition about them. They are just going to know things about people. Again, we've got 2 coming through with the balance. They balance intellect and intuition. We've got the Love Begins card, you know, just 2 people pouring into the river. And number 1 again. You are going to be seen as the leading lady or the leading gent in this relationship. They do want this love with you. It is destined, it is universal. They might not always make the right decisions though, because we've got the choose wisely in reverse. Alright, they are going to make mistakes. They are going to say things sometimes that might be hurtful. They aren't always going to make the best decisions, alright, but they will really love you, because we have got partnerships and alliances, like 2 people holding hands there. They will see you as an alliance. It will be a good partnership full of love and success, and you know, they aren't going to break your heart, because we've got that in reverse. They will never leave you in struggle like the number 3 on your own with your head down, alright. They aren't going to give you heartache. They aren't going to give you loss. They aren't going to lie to you, because they are a very honest person. They might talk a lot, but you know, they'd never do anything to hurt you, purposefully anyway. Like I said, they might make mistakes now and again, but it does come from truth and honesty and wanting a successful relationship with a good foundation. It's a good balance of intuition and intellect, but don't be afraid to rein them in if they are being a bit childish or they are being a bit naive. They are being a bit too free and independent and rebellious. It is okay to tell them that, because they can actually hurt other people's integrity by their cutting words. But you know, they are going to be very honest. They are going to be very intuitive. They are going to be a very imbalanced person. Okay, they're going to be up in the head, but they're also going to be down in the feet. They are going to be realistic, even though they are up in the head. They're not going to be too daydreamy and being unrealistic about situations. Yeah, and you know, you are just destined to be together. They possibly are very psychic as well. We've got purple energy here, and we have got intuition. So it could be someone who does have an affinity for the psychic world, as well as being in the earthly world as well. So, yeah, that's who you will marry. Right. So if you enjoyed that reading, guys, make sure to like and subscribe. Like I said at the beginning of the video, all my information for my private readings is in the description box. So yeah, I did get this new deck as well, and I thought that they were really cool with the other cards that I got with the Dreams of Gaia Tarot. So comment in the description box, let me know what you'd like to see. If you'd like more of these sort of love readings, because I noticed that the love readings actually do get more views and comments on them. People seem to be attracted and drawn to those more. So yeah, let me know what you think, and I'll be uploading another video soon. Bye!